Alright, guys. Alright. Doing a little bit something different today. I want to get in a tier list of what I think of all the Resident Evil games. I want to do this before I play all the games on my channel. And then we'll do another one after to see if maybe my opinions change over time. So we're going to be doing a Resident Evil tier list. It's got all the games as far as I know. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. How many does it have? Hold on. So we're gonna do that. We're just gonna go down the list. It seems like they're in. It looks like they're in release order. And we're just gonna get into it. So, first one on the list is Resident Evil, the OG. Resident Evil OG is actually really fun. It is. It's got, great moments. It's got the cheesy voice acting that we all love. It's got the great mechanics that kind of, carry the franchise for a little bit. The puzzle solving elements, all that fun stuff. So, I'm going to think. Now, here's the thing. How I do tier lists, by the way, is I take the community's what their thought is into consideration as well as my own. So some of these where I might put them somewhere, I'll also be like, I understand the community likes them a lot, so I'll probably like adjust depending on that. But it'll all be my own opinion. Uh, so for now, I'm thinking, and I also compare them if there's a remake out. Honestly, I just kind of compare a little bit. See, because you see, if Resident Evil never had a remake, the original, I'd put it in S. But since it does have a remake, and honestly the remake's a whole lot better, I feel like putting it in A is a better spot for it. I feel like that's a good spot for it, honestly. Is an A. Alright. So Resident Evil 1 in A. Now the thing about Resident Evil 2 is it does have a remake. But I would say the remake isn't better than the original, but it's close. But since you know what I'm saying, like it's close. Resident Evil 2 is my favorite, by the way, of the franchise so far. That has not changed. So we're gonna put Resident Evil 2 in S tier. It's got it's basically in my hey, what's up, Starfish? How you doing, bud? Thank you for stopping in, dude. Hope you like tier list because that's what we're doing today. I don't know how long this is gonna take, but we're gonna hit all the games. Resident Evil 2 is my favorite. All right, it's like I call it the perfect sequel in a game. It takes what the first game did and it does everything better. It does the music better, the story better, the characters better, the voice acting better, the gameplay better. Everything's better in Resident Evil 2 OG over the first game. And I just love it. Um yeah, so it's just my favorite game of the franchise. Oh yeah, for sure, agreed. Exactly. It's my favorite. I can't say it's not my favorite because it is. It really is my favorite. I had so much fun playing it yesterday, or sorry, not yesterday. Well, I guess technically it was yesterday, considering that it went from 3 a.m. But whatever. Yeah, there are some things that are a little bit better in one. Like I do prefer the zombie sounds in one, but I mean, like that's just kind of like a that's just kind of like a ooh, like a little pizzazz, I guess, over it. But um, this is where things are gonna get a little bit controversial, though. This next one. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I'm gonna be honest, it's not my favorite of the classic three. I'm gonna be honest. It's I like one and two better. I have not played it as much as the first two. Maybe that'll change once I start playing it a little bit more. But for right now, there's just I don't know. I see. I like the interconnectivity of one and two, and like the city's still interconnected in three. It's your personal yeah. You see, this is why I knew I was gonna be getting controversial because a lot of the people I know that three is their fave. Uh, I don't. I know the city's still technically interconnected and all that, but like the way one and two set up, at least at the beginning for two, is you have the RPD station. You have a left side, you have a right side. Same with Resident Evil, you have the mansion. You have a left side, you have a right side. They're all kind of interconnected. They all kind of, there's like shortcuts and all that stuff. And I like that feeling of like just an enclosed space more than an open city. It's my favorite, but I could totally see two being ranked higher. Yeah, exactly. But I feel like most people they would put it in S. You know what I mean? And these two could be interchangeable. They put it in an S or they put it but I'm gonna put it in an A, for me personally. And that's how I feel about it. On to Survivor. Now look, Survivor. I actually kind of like Survivor a lot. Not enough where I could put it in A. S rank. I mean S. Not enough where I could put it that high, honestly. I'd probably put B for Survivor. It's a solid game. It's fun shooting things in that game. I don't know. There's something about just shooting the zombies in that game just so satisfying. I don't know if it's because it's God tier VA. Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. The voice acting in that game is even cheesier, and the intro to that game sounds like how we have like those text to speech, the like narration of that game at the beginning where like it has the word scroll on top. It sounds like a text to speech robot reading that. It doesn't sound like an actual person. I want to play it with the light gun. That would be awesome. Vincent, it's me, your mother. Code Veronica. You see, now this is where I'm going to get controversial. Because Code Veronica, I love Code Veronica. I've never had problems with it. I know people have problems with with some of the sections. Whereas, you have, the tyrant, playing tyrant's kind of infamous if you don't have enough ammo. The whole switching between Chris and Claire inventory situation is kind of, not good. But I mean, I don't know. I still love it. And like I've never had those issues when playing. Even whenever I first played it, like I didn't really think too much about it. So I guess that made it to where I didn't make those bad choices where like I just kept the stuff that Chris had, kept the stuff that Claire had, and just played the game. And I didn't really think too much about inventory. And I just ended up having enough. And then my consecutive playthroughs, I knew that you switched to Claire, or I knew that you switched to Chris, and then I knew that you switched to Claire, but you only plays her for a little bit, so I didn't really do anything with her inventory. So I mean, it all depends on I guess personal experience, but for me, Resident Evil Code Veronica I think is better than the original, and I think it's better than 3. Again, we're getting controversial in here. This is why this is gonna get controversial. This being ahead of this. What's up, Ice? How's it going? RE rating, yes. RE tier list. It's getting a little controversial in here. We're putting Code Veronica above 3. It's in the same tier. It's still an A, but we're putting it above 3. There need to be a casual one and speed run. I've never done the speed run, so I don't know. This is a casual tier list though, just from a casual player's perspective. Well, I mean, I guess I do challenge runs too, so I guess I'm not fully casual, but you know what I mean. Anyway, since we got more people here, we're gonna start doing some shout outs. Start with Starfish first. I do want to do shout outs, I just don't want to do them whenever it's during my big marathons, because I feel like that just kind of breaks the flow of it. Sometimes I don't always have shout out to Starfish. He's my boy. He does a lot of challenge runs, and I think he speed runs too. We'll get you Ice next as soon as this goes out. CVX, what are y'all thoughts on CVX? Let me know. What do y'all think? It's a very controversial pick for A, but I'm putting it there. Love it. I love it too. I do. Claire being the MC again. I love Claire. Man, Bielkito would be really into this, honestly. I wish he was here. Can be a tough first playthrough. Yeah, that's kind of what I was taking into account, but I like even me, even if I like I couldn't put it in an S. I don't even like it that much for S. And I know the community kind of hates it. I like it as a game, but it's not anywhere near as good as 2 in my opinion. Let the game burn? I love how you use the gator emote for that. I love how you use the gator emote for that. That's funny. Yeah, I'm putting Code Veronica in A. If you don't like it, oh well. I guess move on. Freaking Steve and... You see, that's what I'm saying! That is what I'm saying. That's the problem that people have with this game, is the boss, freaking Steve and final boss parts. It might be my version. No, that was an issue. So, the Plane Tyrant was a big issue. People would usually soft lock there. And then with Chris, because I was literally 2 inches from Steve and got hit still. Oh, where you're running away from him? Yeah. But no, like, Chris is like, Steve is like, well, the whole Chris changing between Chris and Claire situation was kind of bad for inventory management. I ran around, got hit still. Yeah, honestly, I just tank the hits and make sure I have enough heals for the hits, is what I usually do. I don't know how to actually avoid them. I just spam explosive bolts. But yeah, I like CVX. I think it's a fine game. I love it, actually. I don't like it more than 2 or as much as 2, so I'm not going to put it in an S. But I do still like it enough. Hey, Nasty Man Sam, how you doing, bud? I'll be giving you a shout out in a second, man. Going KB Silent and maybe AFK for appointment. Yeah, it's all good. We're just kind of having fun making a little tier list of us own. So yeah, I'm putting Code Veronica above Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil Nemesis. Like I said, I know it's controversial, but we're doing that. Alright, I don't think this next one's going to be too controversial. I can type 4 in chat and got foo for... I need to fix my KB. It's doing weird stuff. No, it's all good. Take your time. This next one's not going to be so controversial. We're putting Resident Evil Gaiden in D. Here's the thing. As much as I'm impressed by how they were able to put a Resident Evil game on the Game Boy Color, it could have been better, honestly. And it's just not very good. The main theme at the beginning of the game is goated. Hold on, let me turn my light on real quick. I love the main theme at the beginning of the game. I know Star has told me before that he doesn't like 8-bit music, but I love the theme at the beginning of Resident Evil Gaiden. I love it. It's great. But the game though, the game is it's pretty difficult, and honestly, you got to use the knife most of the time because you're going to run out of bullets if you don't. It's almost a knife only run, almost. I have laptop KB. Nice. I don't know what that. What do you mean by laptop KB? Apex Music slaps hard as fuck. Yeah, yeah, I know. But like, if you've never heard the intro to Resident Evil Gaiden, it's so good. Laptop keyboard. Oh, okay. If you've never heard the intro to Resident Evil Gaiden, it's so fun. It's just a great track. I really love that. But that's like the only thing I love about this game. The combat's terrible. It's got that Undertale combat, which I know this came before Undertale, so. But then, like, you also have these freaking bullshit enemies called crowbar zombies that have a distance attack. No zombie in these games should have a distance attack. It should be your. I always save my ammo on every single zombie. I only use a knife. And then when it comes to those zombies, those are the only zombies I shoot. Because they're such bullshit. Because they have distance attacks. The blue crowbar zombie. They're the worst enemy in the game. And then you could soft lock for the last boss if you don't have enough ammo and if you didn't grab the gas launcher. I don't know if anyone here's ever seen Resident Evil Gaiden, but it's just not a great game. I wouldn't put it in an F because there are some redeemable qualities for it, but and like I feel the passion that Capcom still put into it. It doesn't feel like a passionless game like some of these other ones. So I'm gonna put it in D for now. So you guys beat RE non 0 to 8 and CVX. I'm at a disadvantage. Yeah, no, I've beaten most of these games. There are a few I haven't played. Hold on, before I forget. Hey, Balloon, thank you for the bits, dude. I appreciate it. We're going to shout out my boy, Nasty Man Sam. He's been a great friend. He's been a good streamer. I like talking to him in his streams. He's last seen playing, I think, Arkham City. If y'all like Batman, go check him out. Thank you, Balloon Salamander, for the 1,000 bits. Holy shit, dude. Thank you. I appreciate that. How you been, man? Just doing a tier list. We're going to get controversial in here. Alright, Resident Evil Survivor 2. We're doing it before we play all of them on our channel. And then we're going to do another one after we play all the games on our channel and see if our opinions might change later on. You know what I mean? So Resident Evil Survivor 2, Code Veronica, honestly, it's D tier as well. I don't know if I'd probably put it lower than Gaiden, honestly. It's real short. The gameplay kind of sucks. It's just a first-person shooter arcade game that got ported to PS2. There's really not much to say about it. It's really, really short. You could beat the game in like 10 minutes, honestly. Like, no doubt you could beat the game in 10 minutes. You just kind of run through the rooms and shoot things, really. That's really all you do. There's really not much to it. It's really short. There are some different modes you can play and stuff like that, but honestly, I can take them and leave them. I've never even played the other modes. I just played the game once, beat the game once, and then I was like, alright, I guess I've seen everything this game has to offer. Alright, Resident Evil. Wait. This is the remake, yeah. I was wondering if this was like the remaster. It's F tier! No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's S tier, obviously. The reason why I didn't put Resident Evil Original in S tier is because this exists. Because I feel like the Resident Evil remake is just so much better than the original that you kind of have to put this one down. Because you know it could be way better. You know what I mean? You kind of have to put this one in A because you know it's not as good as the remake. At least that's how I see it. But yeah, it's just... It takes everything. It's like the perfect remake. It takes everything that the first game did, and it makes it even better. It adds to everything. It adds rooms, it adds enemies, it adds a whole backstory with Lisa Trevor, it adds different locations. It's a little bit longer. And honestly, I think the graphics still hold up, even to this day. I really do. I think the graphics hold up. I think it's an amazing game, for real. All right. Next game on the wrist. Again, controversial. Again, I'm putting RE0 at Z. At C. Every time I know it's like looking at Survivor above zero, but every time I'm gonna lie to y'all. Every time I play zero, I don't want to play it again. There's never been a time where I've played zero and I thought to myself, non-co-op but plays co-op. Yeah, I don't like having to manage two different characters is my thing. The whole I know there's like the whole Billy with the if you send Billy up with the hook shot in the church, it kind of makes your run worse. That was never an issue for me. It's more just having to manage two characters at the same time that I don't like. Plus the inventory system having to drop items instead of having an item box is just I don't like it. I know they did that because they you basically had 12 slots instead of just 6 or 8. But at the same time, it just does not feel good. Honestly, I wonder if the game would be better with an item box or not. I have no idea. I've never used like the item box mod or anything. So yeah, like I said, every time I play Zero, I don't feel like playing it again. I really don't. And it sucks because I actually love Rebecca, and like I love the outfits that she has because they actually RE0 has the best outfits because of the way they did it. They added some new ones and then put all of Rebecca's previous outfits into the game. And I really feel like that's how they should do it with every character. Every character should have their previous outfits from the other game in the game that they're currently in. I'm gonna speed run it. Oh my god. Look, hats off to you. Hats off to you. Not for me. Not for me. Dead Aim. Dead Aim's kind of fun. It's not it's not anything spectacular and it's not anything like it's listen, Dead Aim's characters are basically Leon and Ada store bought, like Walmart brand Leon and Ada. That's what that's what the characters are in that game. And then you have the villain who's like I don't know, Morpheus. It's such a weird game. It really is. Dude. I'm telling you, if you've never seen a gameplay, go watch it. It's literally Walmart brand Leon and Ada. It's like, oh, you want Leon and Ada? We have Leon and Ada at home, and then this is what you get. These two characters. You probably can't see them very well. Um, I think I'll put it at C. I think it's not. I don't think it's better than Zero. It's still fun. I don't. I wouldn't put it in D, but it was just a little bit of fun here and there. I mean, not. I couldn't even say it was all that fun because there were some bullshit enemies like the I forget what they're called. I think they're called glimmers. They would grab the shit out of me, and it was the most annoying fucking thing in the game, honestly. And that shit kind of pissed me off. You'll see whenever I play that game. So yeah, I'm putting Dead Aim in C. I don't think it's better than Zero. I still like Zero. It's just every time I play it, I don't feel like playing it again after. Like I don't feel like playing it again after. It's just like I don't. Maybe that'll change. Who knows? Maybe it'll change, but we'll see. Outbreak. Now again, this is where we get controversial. I've only ever played Outbreak offline. So, I can't put the multiplayer system into effect for me. So I'm gonna play it because I still liked what I played even single player. It just wasn't as good as like these. So I'm gonna put Outbreak File 1 and 2 in B. I feel like that's fair for offline play. If it was online, it'd probably be A tier, honestly, for me. But I mean, I've never experienced that, so I don't know. I don't know. It'll have to be offline for now. I like a lot of the customization, and I like a lot of the characters. Like I like that you have multiple characters and you have like multiple outfits for each character, and there's so much to unlock. Yeah, like I said, I've only ever played it offline, so I can't really say for sure 100% one way or another. Like if it was online, I'd probably be A tier, but for now I'm gonna have to put it at B. The game is a bit sluggish though. When you say sluggish, what do you mean? Like what do you mean as sluggish? Like do the characters feel slow? Oh yes, the load times. That is true. Character movement? Yeah, I see. All right, Resident Evil 4 OG S tier. Honestly, I wouldn't like. I wouldn't say it's better than the remake of one or two. That's gonna be a controversy, but you know, I just don't like it as much. It is the one I've probably played the most, except for OG one now, because I played OG one like so many times on stream. But four, it's just an all around great game. It's just fun to shoot things. You know, it does the gameplay well. Uh, everyone complains about tank controls in 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica, all of these games, but then they love four and they don't realize that four has tank controls too. You turn Leon right, he turns right. You turn Leon left, he turns left. You push up, he goes up. I don't get it. It's like they'll complain about tank controls, but then they'll still like RE4. It's like they don't realize that it's tank controls. If you want to complain about tank controls, it's not the tank controls that you don't like. It's the it's the camera angle or fixed camera angle system you don't like. Because the reason why the tank controls are there is because of the fixed camera angles. But then it also still works for RE4. That's the reason. The fixed camera angles is what makes the tank controls needed. Because if you switch rooms, like let's say you switch an angle, and you're still wanting to move forward in that angle, you're still going to be moving up with tank controls. It's still going to be moving in the same direction with tank controls, basically. Let's move on though. But yeah, I love Resident Evil 4. It's a fantastic game. It's got a lot of unlockables, a lot of replay value. There's really a lot to like about Resident Evil 4. I love it. Umbrella Chronicles. I'm trying to think. Umbrella Chronicles is a weird one because it's just a light gun shooter, or like a it's just a shooter. But I liked it. I thought it was enjoyable. There were some hard parts. I feel like it was a pretty hard game, but I think I can put it at I think B. I think B's fine. I like it more than Outbreak. I think it might be controversial, but like I said, if I played Outbreak online, it'd probably be A or even S tier. So that could change. Like I said, if I ever do play Outbreak online. But yeah, it's just a light gun shooter. It's pretty fun. I don't like it more than Survivor, honestly. Survivor's probably my favorite of the light gun first person shoot, like first person ones. Let me see. Resident Evil 5. God, Resident Evil 5 is actually a hard one. I'd say I like Resident Evil 5 enough to put it in an A tier. It's not better than Nemesis. It's not better than 3. But I'd say it is fun co-op. I have played co-op. It is really fun. And honestly, it's got Sheva. It's got Sheva, so that puts it up a little bit more for me. The outfits are really cool. Sheva has some good outfits. I like cosmetics, alright? If you hear me talk about outfits, I like outfits, okay? I like cosmetics. I think they're cool. What is a Resident Evil game without some outfits here and there? But yeah, I don't know. I enjoy it. I think it's a great game. It's fun. It's just fun to shoot things, and just does action real well. It really is more actiony than RE4. Um, but yeah, I don't. As far as anything bad to say about it, I don't know. The Sheva AI is kind of broken if you're not playing offline. If you're not playing online, it never. I never really had too many problems with it though. Like honestly, it's not too bad. The DLC, the Mansion DLC, is pretty fun. Where you get to play as Jill and Chris for the first time in like forever. Well, I guess technically Umbrella Chronicles you have to play as Jill and Chris too, but that's a little bit different. So yeah, I liked Resident Evil 5. I thought it was fun. Dark Side Chronicles. I think I like Dark Side Chronicles more than Umbrella Chronicles, honestly. Plus Claire, dude, Claire in that game looks amazing. She is like so hot in that game. Oh my god, Claire looks amazing in that game. I would always pick. Also, I would always pick the male characters because you'd see more of the female characters if you played the male characters. I know, but hey, that's just what I like. I never haven't played the Mercenaries 3D, so I can't say much about it. Resident Evil Revelations. I'm gonna be honest. I like it more than Nemesis. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like it more than OG or Code Veronica, but I like it more than Nemesis and Five. I like Revelations. It's fun. It's got a good story. Well, I wouldn't say good story. It's got a story that's you could follow. It does like the weird like previously every time you get a new chapter, and it's like I've already seen the last chapter, but I guess because it was for the what up, Straw Hat? How's it going? How did your stream go, man? Thank you for stopping by. We're doing a tier list. I feel like everyone here probably already follows you, but we'll give you a shout out anyway. How'd your stream go, man? Did you fix your audio issues that you were having? But yeah, I like Revelations. I think it's a great game. I'll put it above Nemesis and 5. Um, Operation Raccoon City I haven't played, so I can't say much about it. All right, Resident Evil 6. I think I'll be controversial in doing this, but I like 6 better than 0. I like 6 better than 0, honestly. It's not enough to put it in the B tier, but it's at least. I've noticed that if you actually just try and run from the enemies and don't actually try and fight, it actually makes it a little bit more fun than actually trying to fight every single enemy in the game because there's a lot of enemies. Honestly, just running past all of them is way funner than just trying to actually fight them. So yeah, I don't mind. Like some people say they hate Helena. I don't really mind her that much. I don't really mind it. That whole story with her, it's whatever. There's not really any characters that I hate. I kind of like the new characters, but they're not like anything fantastic or anything. Like they should have just brought the old characters back and paired them up. Like I don't know why you get a Chris campaign without Jill, why you get a Leon campaign without Claire, and the Sherry and Jake campaign's fine because I mean, at least Sherry's a new character, and who would they have paired her up with? Uh, Sherry's an old character, and they brought her back. And then who would they have paired her up with? So they put Jake with her pair, which kind of makes sense because you had Birkin's daughter and then Wesker's son. So I mean, I think that dynamic kind of makes sense a little bit. And then Ada kind of being her own campaign by herself makes sense. So honestly, it could have been a much better game if we got Jill and Chris together and Leon and Claire together. It would have been so much better, and I don't know why they decided to add in new characters that nobody really ends up caring about that much by the end of the game. Honestly, like nobody cares. Nobody cares. Do I hate Helena and what's the dude's fucking name? Piers? I couldn't even think of his name. Piers. Do I hate Helena and Piers? No. Do I hate Jake? No. It's just they're just whatever characters to me. So yeah, 6 I'll put in C. I have played it like twice, all 4 campaigns twice. I ended up liking it a little bit better the second time, but honestly, not enough to really bump it up anything other than higher than C. It was probably C the first time I played it, and it was probably going to be C the next time I played it too. So, I mean, there you go. It's C tier. I do like it better than 0 though. That might be controversial, but whatever. All right. Next on the list, Revelations 2. I'm trying to think if I like Revelations 2 better or not than 1. They're pretty close in quality. I never played the raid modes of them. So I don't know if those are better in one game over the other. I think I like Rev 2 a little bit better. I think the combat's a little bit better. The knifing's pretty fun to just start swinging the knife real fast. They give you upgrades that you can do, so you can actually upgrade your character a little bit. You can do more cool stuff. So yeah, I think I'll do Revelations 2 above Revelations 1. But I don't think I like it any more than I don't think I like it way more than Rev 1. Umbrella Corps I haven't played. Honestly though, even from having not played it, from all the things I've seen and heard about it, I could probably put it in an F and be safe. But I'll just put it in the haven't played category for now. I don't think I'm missing much not having played it. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I think right here is fine. I think I like it better than Revelations, but I don't like it better than the OG. Here's the thing about Revelation. Here's the thing about Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 is actually a good game. It's actually a fantastic game, and honestly, if it didn't have that shitty boat section and the cave section afterwards, I could have put it in S. If the latter half of the game was better, I could easily put it in S. Because the mansion, the Dovey Manor portion, 3 Nemesis only. Hey, I know. Hey, I said it was controversial. I know. Look. It could change. This is why I'm doing the tier list before I play all the games and then after. It could change. I explained why I didn't like Nemesis as much. It's just I don't know. I don't like it as much. So sorry. I didn't like it as much as the OGs, as the first and second games. I didn't like it as much. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm gonna need a recap. We ain't going back. You'll just have to watch the whole thing. It's not gonna be long. We're almost done. It's only like 40 minutes. But yeah. I don't know. I just didn't like Nemesis as much. Somebody had Nemi trouble. No, I actually killed Nemi most of the times. I know the strat for the first time you see him at the RPD. You gotta run back and like do the whole wall glitch, which is just the easiest way. I killed him most of the times I've seen him. Actually, I can usually kill him every single time, with just a few retries at least. Free reloads, but you know. We'll get to 3. We'll get to 3. Maybe it was wild when it first came out. I mean, yeah, I bet. I've only ever played it recently. Like I never played it whenever it first came out. So like I kind of knew Nemesis was a thing. that would be coming out all the time. But yeah, we'll get back to we'll get to Nemesis eventually. So you'll be able to hear my thoughts on the game whenever we actually play it, because we're not that far off on our goal. Anyway, we're gonna keep going. Resident Evil 2 remake. I know I want to put it in S. I just don't know how far into S I want to go. Like, honestly, I could put it right here above Resident Evil 1 remake, but then honestly, like, I think right here's better because I think I like Resident Evil 1 remake better. But I think I like it better than OG4. I think this is a fine place to put it. Right here. I think that's good. I like it better than OG4. I don't like it as much as Resident Evil remake. Because here's the thing about Resident Evil remake is the first remake of Resident Evil, which I don't even know if it might still be the only one. I don't know if they're gonna redo it, but it's the perfect remake because it takes everything the first game does and it makes it better. Whereas as far as Resident Evil 2 remake, it actually cuts a little bit of content out from Resident Evil 2. Still makes a fantastic game off of that content, by the way. That it does still have. Still makes a fantastic game, a credible game, S tier easy. But and then like the A and B scenarios not lining up correctly. Like, why do you fight some of the same bosses in the A and B runs? I understand that they weren't originally supposed to be in there. They weren't originally going to do the A and Bs, but then they decided to. But it just doesn't make sense. Like, you almost have to think of every scenario as its own standalone scenario, even the second runs, for it to make sense. And then, because like you fight the same bosses, you fight every boss twice. Annette dies twice. That doesn't make any sense. Honestly, it's so weird as like a story perspective. Like, the story's good still, but like you just kind of have to think of every scenario as a standalone scenario and not try to link it to the other one that happens. There's two tyrants technically. If Leon fought a tyrant and then Claire's tyrant that was chasing her dies by Birkin, then there's technically two tyrants walking around. That's the only way to explain that. Is there two Annettes that we don't know about? Is there like, it doesn't make sense. The A and B scenarios in the OG make sense. They link perfectly. Not perfectly, because you do some of the same same puzzles, but they did almost perfectly. I don't know. It could have been better, but it's still a go-to game, and it still deserves S tier in my opinion. It's a weird situation, but I think it still deserves S tier. Anyway, Resident Evil's Resistance I played for a little bit. Honestly, I just put it right here. I think low C is fine. It's just Resident Evil 2 gameplay with like some kind of arcadey mechanics. It's basically was just trying to be Dead by Daylight, but for Resident Evil. It didn't really work, in my opinion. It's whatever. There's not really much to say about Resident Evil Resistance. It's just a game that exists. Just put it at low C. I like it better than Gaiden and Survivor 2, though. Alright. This one's going to be a hard one. So you know how I was saying, like, I like Nemesis not as much as the first one and second one. I don't like it as much. But I will say it still produced a fine remake. But the remake cut a lot of content out from the original. Like, this is still a great game. Don't get me wrong. I still love it. Even though, like, A are still games that I love. The A category. And Resident Evil 3 cut so much content. Resident Evil 3 remake cut so much content from the original. It's actually insane, honestly. And the fact that you could beat the game in like just a few hours, like 3 hours, like you could probably beat the game in 3 hours your first playthrough. if you're not like taking your time. It's really not that difficult. Also, Nemesis can die from just a single grenade. Like, you can take out Nemesis with just a single grenade. Really, anytime he's after you, if you have a grenade, he's done. He's done for. Might as well just not even have him in the game, except for boss battles. Really, and like just the fact that he seems more scripted. So he seems more scripted than the tyrant from Resident Evil 2 remake, where I feel like he was supposed to be. I feel like Nemesis should have been more random, just showed up out of nowhere at any time. I don't know. It's just it could have been so much better. Honestly, it could have had the potential to be my favorite game with how much it could have done. It could have had a more open Raccoon City. You can actually go to like some of the locations that you've always wanted to. It was the only game in the franchise where we could have explored Raccoon City to its fullest, and they didn't do it. So I'm gonna have to put it honestly. I'd probably put it just in B tier. Like honestly, it's just so disappointing. I think at the top of B tier is a good spot for it. But then again, yeah, no, I think B tier's right. The content it has is so lackluster. It's literally just one game. You just get one game and a couple outfits, and that's it. They never added anything to it like they did with Remake 2. You only get the one game, a couple outfits, a kind of cool bonus weapon store, which I kind of like the bonus weapon store. This is the one that kind of added the bonus weapon stores to where you get points, and then you could actually just buy the bonus weapons with those points. So if there's something you really want, you could just go for that instead of having to actually just achieve anything specific. I like the bonus weapon stores in the games. They do that for pretty much all of them. So yeah, after 3, well, except for 4 is a little bit different, but anyway. So yeah, I like Resident Evil 3. It's just it could have been so much more. It really could have. All right, moving on. Village. Village is a tough one. Because like it could almost be S tier. But there's something keeping it from being S tier. And I don't know what that something is. It really just feels like their attempt to make RE4 Remake before making RE4 Remake. Like they wanted to basically make a game where they kind of had the similar stuff to RE4. And then just kind of like it's like they wanted to do a warm-up before RE4 Remake. Does that make sense? Like, they wanted to bring back a merchant. They wanted to bring back upgradable guns. You know, stuff like that. The treasure system. All that good stuff. And I could almost put it in S tier. But I think I'm just going to put it at the top of A. I feel like that's a little bit better. There's just something about it that I love it. But I feel like it just doesn't deserve S. There's just something about it. I can't tell you why. One way or another, why it doesn't deserve S. So I'm just going to put it at the top of A for now. Reverse, haven't played, honestly. I heard it's kind of bad. I could probably put it in an F, even with not having played it. And people would be like, yeah, that checks out. But I'm not going to do that. These are the only 4 games, I guess, that I've never played. And then Resident Evil 4 Remake. Now, this one... This is the one that I'm kind of... It's kind of hard for me. Because I don't know if I like it more than the OG 4 or not. Honestly, if you had asked me before Separate Ways for Remake came out, which one I liked better, I probably would have still said OG4, but then after Separate Ways for Remake came out, and it was the separate ways for that was so much better than the original. I think I'll put this one above RE4 OG. Do I like it better than RE2 remake though? Huh. I don't know. That's hard. It's definitely S tier for one thing for sure. We'll honestly say for remake they paid attention to detail. Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I like it better than 2 remake or not. Oh wait, you know what? I kind of messed up. I like 2 Do I like 2 remake better than OG remake? Shoot. I don't know. I think I'll keep that there for now. I think that's fine right there. I think that's a fine I think that's fine right there. Do you have any questions about the tier list? Anyone? We'll answer questions about game placements if you want. Now that I've placed all the games kind of where I feel like. Honestly, the fact that I didn't put anything in F tier is kind of surprising. Honestly, if I played Umbrella Corps before, it probably would have been F tier or Reavers. But I've never played those games. Without Gaiden implies Leon dies. I mean, it's not canon. I mean, it also implies that he becomes a bioweapon, so... Or, like, gets a clone version of him as a bioweapon, so... But yeah, if y'all have any questions, I'll take questions about any of my game placements if you haven't been here. I know this one's probably the most controversial right here. Nemesis 3, or RE3 Nemesis in A. So I'll give y'all just a few minutes to talk if y'all want to. If not, I'll probably just end the stream. It'll probably be like the only stream I do today. I have some stuff I gotta take care of. I just want to do a quick tier list before I hit all the games. And I'll do another one after and see if my opinion changed after I hit all the games. But for now, I'd say this is about how I feel. Also, the fact that there's so many in A, and even some of the ones that people consider shitty, like Survivors in B, just shows how good the franchise is, because there's really not a whole lot of C games or D games. And honestly, these two would probably be an F if I had played them, just from what I've heard and what I've seen. But I don't want to really... I don't really want to do that unless I've actually played the game. So we'll probably play these games eventually, these 4. So yeah, that's my tier list. If it's controversial, oh well. I don't care. It's just my opinion. These are all opinions. I know most of you will probably have Resident Evil 3 Nemesis and S, but I don't know. Maybe it'll change. Maybe it'll change when I play it again. Anyway, that's all the time I got for today. Thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank everybody who stopped by. Hopefully you don't find my tier list too shitty, but if you do, oh well. That's just how it's going to have to be for now. Like I said, these could change later on after I play all the games. Anyway, that's about it. I hope you all enjoyed. I don't know if you guys want to raid or not. It doesn't really feel like something I could raid with for just a tier list, but we'll do that. We'll see. We'll get a raid going. Maybe you guys wanted to watch somebody play a game today. You know what? We'll raid Shout Blaster. Why not? He's playing some Resident Evil 2 OG. He's kind of AFK for now, though, but... Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the tier list. Like I said, I know some controversial placements could be there, but I want to thank everybody who stopped by. stop by, and I have some work to take care of. So I hope you all enjoy. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope you all have some fun streams to watch today. Anyway, you all take care. Also, I gotta wait like 8 seconds for this to finish. So hold on. Anyway, you all take care and bye for now.